VH1. Video Hits 1. When most people think of VH1 nowadays, they think about the reality TV shows that air on the channel. Go back 2 decades and yes, reality TV shows were on the channel back then. But there were also shows on the channel that people loved, such as VH1's Bands Reunited and Beyond the Music. But going back around over 2 decades, you'll find a program that most people today didn't realize existed. A program that's reminiscent of MTV's Under 20 Minutes, but for a different audience. Instead of featuring music videos from rising alternative rock acts, it featured rising and established jazz and new age acts. This program had a mix of soothing and adventurous music videos, from Pat and Feeney, Yanni, and beyond. This is New Visions, VH1's Forgotten 120 Minutes. Before I talk about New Visions, we must talk about the early history of VH1. On New Year's Day, 1985 at 6 p.m. EST, VH1 will launch with 5 VJs manning the helm. They were Don Imus, Scott Shan, John Bouncer Bauman, and most importantly for this video, Frankie Hollywood Crocker. For anyone who doesn't know, Frankie Crocker was one of the most important and influential DJs, in my opinion, of all time. He's mostly well known for being the afternoon host and program director at New York-based metropolitan radio station WBLS. I would love to cover the Chief Rocker some more, but that's for another day and for another video. In late 1985, MTV Networks would begin developing 2 programs for their music video channels. An up-and-coming alternative rock-based program would be developed for MTV, while a jazz and new age-based program would be developed for VH1. The former would be turned into 120 Minutes, and the latter, while initially being named Quiet Storm, would be turned into New Visions by the time of its premiere episode. Kevin Maffini, no relation to Pat Maffini, vice president of VH1 at the time, said the program could premiere as early as February 1986. However, the program would premiere for at least another month on the channel. On March 1st, 1986, at 11 p.m. EST, New Visions premiered on VH1. Frankie Crocker would host the premiere episode. The first music video played was On the Future of Aviation by Jerry Goodman. This premiere episode will also feature music videos from Philip Glass, Guitaro, Cassiopeia, Tangerine Dream, Chuck Mangione, Mike Oldfield, Kate Bush, Andy Summers of Robert Fripp, and Mark Kisham. New Visions would eventually adopt a guest VJ format, just like 120 Minutes. In 1988, long after Frankie Crocker left the network, VH1 would find a new permanent VJ to host the program, and his name is Ben Sidran. For people who don't know, Ben Sidran is mostly well known for being the main keyboardist and songwriter of the Steve Miller Band, but he also has an impressive and incredible solo discography that you should check out after watching this video. From the limited amount of clips from his stint on the program, he did an incredible job. However, starting in 1989, the concept of New Visions would be expanded upon. Starting in 1989, New Visions would become more than just a weekly program on VH1. From Mondays to Thursdays, New Visions featured artists outside of jazz and new age. Monday, rock. Tuesday, folk. Wednesday, world beat. Thursday, soul. The main program on the weekends would still feature jazz and new age artists, but it would be shortened from 2 hours to 55 minutes. The weeknight program would be hosted by Nile Rodgers, while the main program would be still hosted by Ben Sidran. From the limited amount of clips online of Nile Rodgers' stint on the program, he did a fantastic job of hosting. However, there isn't a lot of information on this iteration of the program, since there's barely any information on it on the internet, even more so than the first iteration. Unfortunately, as the 90s went on, New Visions would disappear from VH1 forever. In 1993, MTV Networks would decide to end New Visions after a run of 7 years. 120 Minutes would reach new heights of popularity on MTV during the early 90s, but by the turn of the millennium, it was on its last legs. 120 Minutes moved to MTV2 in 2001, but on May 9, 2003, the last episode of the program aired. It managed to have a spiritual successor in the form of Subterranean, but New Visions never did. VH1 continued to air jazz and new age music videos, but as time went on, they mostly disappeared from the channel. However, MTV Networks launched a suite of new digital channels in 1998, and one of those channels was called VH1 Smooth. It played the same type of music videos that New Visions did, with a focus on jazz, new age, and adult contemporary music videos. However, on August 1st, 1999, it rebranded to VH1 Classic Rock, the predecessor to today's MTV Classic. In the eyes of most people, New Visions is a forgotten cornerstone of the early years of VH1, but to the fans of the program, it helped introduce them to jazz, new age, and the more artsy and experimental side of rock and pop. It helped expose the lesser-known artists such as Stanley Jordan, Suzanne Ciani, Bobby McFerrin, and Alicia Wong. And it helped expose more established artists such as Miles Davis, Philip Glass, Mike Oldfield, and Jean-Michel Jarre to a whole new generation. It was soothing, yet adventurous. It showed a mix of old and new. But most importantly of all, it introduced new visions of what music could be. Thank everyone who's made it to this point in the video. For a first video project that's mostly been inspired by Trash Fury, Audio Archive, and Music Video Time, I'd say I didn't do too bad of a job. All the sources I cited, all the footage used, all the music used, all the images used, etc. will be linked down below in the description. And if you want me to make more content like this, I know it's stereotypical of a YouTuber to do this, but if you want to, click like, subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see in the future. Of course, I'm going to still upload the usual content of me uploading obscure records and music videos, but things are going to start slowing down by August, so if you're wondering why I won't be uploading by then that's why. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching. Walete.